Oh, we're going to have to break into that song, and because it's 10:30. That means it's Sunday morning, 10:30, and it's Ill Behaviour on Arrow FM, called, the show is named that because my name's Illya, and it's just, Ill Behaviour was, what was it again? It was something to do with Fatboy Slim and the Beastie Boys. I always liked the way it crossed over into being part of my sort of to do with my name and so on. But anyway, I'm going to start off with a song, and it's a song that I've really been enjoying recently. I'm reading an excellent book about the one and only Jimi Hendrix, aka his real name was James Marshall, I'm pretty sure, and then but yeah, he called himself James Marshall. I read it the other day, but I can't quite. His name's Hendrix. But anyway, we'll start things off with a cover of his, a cover of a man that he, by all accounts, absolutely adored and looked up to, and regarded as, a huge influence of his, and that was Bob Dylan. And this is a cover of "Like a Rolling Stone" that Jimi Hendrix did at the Monterey Music Festival. And so, without further ado, this is it, "Like a Rolling Stone," Bob Dylan's song covered by Jimi Hendrix. This is a live recording, actually, from the Monterey Festival. So, it's pretty special. You'll hear him at the start referring to as playing a song by Bob Dylan, and then he says, that's his grandma over there. And he's actually, in that moment, it's a joke that he has where he thinks Noel Redding sings like Bob Dylan's grandma, but which is quite funny. But yeah, here it is.
It's really out of sight here. Diddy in the rain, no buttons to push. Right now, I'd like to dedicate this song to everybody here with hearts, any kind of hearts and ears. Go something like this here. Yeah. Yeah, what I say now. Hey. Yes, as I said before, it's really groovy. I'd like to bore you for about 6 or 7 minutes to do a little thing. Yeah. Excuse me for a minute. Just let me play my guitar, right? Right now, what do you think by Bob Dylan? That's his grandma over there. There's a little thing called "Like a Rolling Stone." Once upon a time, you dressed so fine, through the bumps of diamond in your prime. Oh, didn't you? People call, say, but where, dog? You're bound to fall. You thought they all. Well, couldn't you? You used to laugh about it. Everybody that was hanging out. Look at you, but now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't, baby, seem so proud. By having to be scrounging, yeah, you're an ass me. Yeah, how does it feel? Baby, to be on your own. No of school, all right. Mr. Lonely Bud, you know you only used to get juice in the air. Nobody here to taught you how to live out in the streets, and now you just gonna have to get used to it. You say you never compromise with a mystery tramp, but now you got to realize he's not selling any alibi as he stands in the vacuum of his side. And he says, hey baby, would you like to make a deal? How does it feel, baby? How does it feel? To be on your road, go direction of complete unknown. Look at you like a rolling stone. Princess of the steeple and all the pretty people, they all laugh and drink and thinking that they got it made. Yeah. Exchanging all precious gifts and things, but you better take your diamond ring. I think you better pawn it, babe. Yes, I know, Mr. Burns, don't worry. You used to be so amused at the pulling in the rags and the sweet talk daddy you. Go to him now, he calls you. You can't refuse. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now, you got no secrets to conceal. How does it feel? Yeah. Oh, how does it feel, baby? To be on your road, no direction, oh. I'm a clean unknown. Look at you, like a rolling stone. Thank you very much. Yeah, dig this, baby. Oh, bro. They got a little tune on around named Rock Me, Baby, you know.
Yeah, so that was the Jimi Hendrix Experience. I should have introduced that as, because it was the band he was in with Noel Redding on bass, guitar, and Mitch Mitchell on drums. The two Englishmen who really helped him sort of break on through in the music industry, along with the help of Chaz Chandler as manager. Yeah, Hendrix, what an interesting life and an interesting individual. Really, really good book I'm reading at the moment called Wild Thing. It's by a music journalist. His name is, I'll just find it here. Wild Thing book. Oh no, it's coming up with all these other books, but no, this, I'll just get the name of that, because I highly recommend the book. Actually, it's been a real I'm always a little bit dubious when it comes to, I've read some quite bad biographies of musicians and other artists over the years, But this one is really, really detailed, and he's gone right to the horse's mouth, so to speak, with a lot of the interviews, speaking to ex-girlfriends, his brother, his daughter, other people who were heavily involved and even influenced by Hendrix. And the book's by a guy called Philip Norman. And excellent book. Really, really enjoying it. And it's really cool to go back to music that you've always enjoyed. I've always liked Hendrix, been a fan over the years. And, listening again after having read and sort of maybe understood a little bit more about the man, this even increases the value of the music, which is something that's really enjoyable. And shout out to my friend Christina Hearn, who lent me the book. And really enjoying the book, and looking forward to probably reading the rest of it later today, possibly. I'm quite a way through it, and obviously the ending's going to be quite sad because, as most people will know, he died a bit too young, a bit of a victim of the music industry of the era, and his own sort of personal demons. A sad end to a person's life who really lit up the world for a while and changed a lot of people's lives. So what's happening in New Zealand this week? Topical. I'd say there's a bit of a Barney I've noticed going on online at the moment about the New Zealand health system and its failure with regard to Māori health, which it's an interesting topic, and something that no doubt if you are at all engaged online, you would have noticed that there's a big outcry going on at the moment about how people saying it has failed, people saying it hasn't, people saying that. I mean, I think it's an interesting subject, and there's certainly some things around that subject that need to be talked about. And personally, in my opinion, one of the things that needs to be talked about is the fact that the health system probably is not just failing Māori people, it's failing a lot of people who... this was something that my friend Hugh Barlow brought up, actually, on a comment I saw online. He was in here the other week, actually, talking, but he mentioned that, it's sort of probably one of the major reasons it's failing Māori is because a lot of Māori are sort of in the lower socio-economic bracket, so that's why. And so it's not just Māori who are in that bracket. So, making it into a race thing is probably not helpful in some ways, because then it marginalises people who are struggling with health issues, who are perhaps, descendants of European colonists, for example, or even descendants of Chinese immigrants or Indian immigrants, or any number of people from different genetic heritages who have ended up in this beautiful country. But one thing that, personally, from my perspective, I'd say the most dangerous thing about any sort of issue like this is to take on the victim mentality and think that you can't do anything to help yourself and that the system's geared against you. Many years ago, for a while, I flirted with that idea and raged against the machine a bit. And while there are things in modern society that we definitely need to fix, and there are problems, there's taking on the mindset that you're the victim of the system is dangerous, when there are things you can do yourself to better your own situation. And that's one thing that I think, as someone with Māori ancestry, I've perhaps over the years changed my position a bit into the one I have today, where it is, I recognise that it's up to me and it's up to my fellow Māori to take a look at things and go, hey, how can we change this ourselves? What can we do? How can we engage more with the health system? How can we do things that help others that we care about to engage with the health system? Because, yeah, taking on the victim mentality gets you nowhere. I think one person I'll always recall who was used to say a similar thing about taking on the victim mentality was Alan Duff, and he became very unpopular in some circles for his quite brutal take on things with regard to Māori. And I remember thinking years ago when I read some of the stuff he said that it was a bit harsh, but I've sort of begun to understand where he was coming from a lot more these days. And I think he was just trying to say to Māori that, you can do more yourself to change your lot. Don't get caught up in the idea that you're stuck somewhere. But we'll go into another song now. And I was going to have a guest this morning, actually, Luke Tiller from who's involved with Why Dads, which I think is a really cool group. It's like a network of support for fathers out there who are looking after their kids. And it's just a really cool initiative that a type of thing that probably didn't exist a few years ago. It was more, I think over the years there's been mothers groups and things like that. But this one's focused towards helping males out who might be maybe single fathers or maybe even, happily married. But just a support network where, because it is good for men to talk to men and women to talk to women and women to talk to men. And, it's a really cool, hopefully he'll be able to get in a couple of weeks for an interview. It's sort of, I'd said a Sunday, but then he had thought it was a Saturday show because my show used to be on Saturdays. So, unfortunately he was unable to come in this morning because he had a prior commitment. But I look forward to getting him on the show. And if anyone is interested in Why Dads, I'm pretty sure they have a Facebook page. I can just actually check right now and see what that Facebook page is called. It might even just be called Why Dads. Why Dads? Oh, there it is. Why Dads? It's a group on Facebook. And I think you can search for it and maybe request to be invited, or I'm not sure how you contact them. There must be an easy way to contact them. I'll find out more about that, and I can post it on maybe even on the Arrow FM webpage if anyone is interested, or they could contact. If anyone's interested in finding out more about that group, you could contact the radio station, and that they'll pass your details on to me, and I can put you in touch with Luke if anyone out there is interested. But in the meantime, that'll be a cool interview. I'm looking forward to having Luke on here. He's an interesting chap. He's a pretty cool and engaging figure. And the interview I was going to run the other week with the American Veterans Affairs guy is actually still going to take place. There was a bit of he was unaware that the time difference was so great between Chicago and New Zealand, and when I contacted him on the morning of the interview the other week, he was just elsewhere doing something else and didn't realise that that was the time that he was meant to be there on his computer ready to have a chat. But he sent his apologies, and we're gonna reconfigure that interview and get him on for a chat. He lives in Chicago, so he's got a lot of interesting things to say about the city of Chicago and the state of the United States, and just the war machine, really. I mean, he's had first-hand experience of being a Marine, and then first-hand experience of the way that the Army and the US government leave ex-soldiers by the wayside a bit, it's quite. There's some quite alarming statistics, and I'm sure that they are. They're probably. It's probably a problem that exists all over the world when it comes to the war and the war machine. But we'll play another song, And we might go for a bit of Bob Dylan this time. We went with a Bob Dylan cover by Jimi Hendrix. And this is a good Bob Dylan song that I quite like. And I hope someone else likes it as well. It's called Tombstone Blues. And it's from his album Highway 61 Revisited. Pretty cool track. Check it out.
The sweet pretty things on bed now, of course. The city fathers they're trying to endorse. The reincarnation of Paul Revere's horse. But the town has no need to be nervous. The ghost of Belle Star, she hands down her wits to Jezebel and Nun, she violently knits a bald wig for Jack the Ripper, who sits at the head of the Chamber of Commerce. Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues. The hysterical bride in the penny arcade, screaming she moans, I've just been made. Then sends out for the doctor, who pulls down the shade and says, my advice is to not let the boys in. Now the medicine man comes and he shuffles inside. He walks with a swagger and he says to the bride, stop all this weeping, swallow your pride. You will not die, it's not poison. Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues. John the Baptist, after torturing a thief, looks up at his hero, the commander-in-chief, saying, tell me, great hero, but please make it brief. Is there a hole for me to get sick in? The commander-in-chief answers him while chasing a fly, saying, death to all those who would whimper and cry. And dropping a barbell, he points to the sky, saying, the sun's not yellow, it's chicken. Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues. King of the Philistines, his soldiers to save, puts jawbones on their tombstones and flatters their graves, puts the Pied Pipers in prison and fattens the slaves, then sends them out to the jungle. Gypsy Davy with a blowtorch, he burns out their camps. With his faithful slave Pedro behind him he tramps, with a fantastic collection of stamps to win friends and influence his uncle. Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in trouble with the Tombstone Blues. The geometry of innocent flesh on the bone causes Galileo's math book to get thrown at Delilah, who's sitting worthlessly alone, but the tears on her cheeks are from laughter. I wish I could give Brother Bill his great thrill. I would set him in chains at the top of the hill, then send out for some pillars and Cecil B. DeMille. He could die happily ever after. Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues. Beethoven once unwrapped the bedroll. Tuba players now rehearse around the flagpole. And the National Bank at a profit sells road maps for the soul to the old folks' home and the college. I wish I could write you a melody so plain that could hold you, dear lady, from going insane. That could ease you and cool you and cease the pain of your useless and pointless knowledge. Mama's in the factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues. All right.
Yeah, so that's Bob Dylan with Tombstone Blues. Good track, that one. Yeah, so another thing I've noticed happening at the moment is this. There's a bit of a outcry about the Olympics, which seems pretty quite justified, really. That they're apparently still going to be sending athletes to the Olympic Games in Japan when there's still a bit of a COVID issue in Japan as far as it stands. And New Zealand Professor Mike Baker has come out and criticised the NZ Olympic Committee for still going ahead with sending the athletes to Japan. And he said it's really a moral issue when it comes down to it. That you know, I mean, the Olympics is obviously a large event where a lot of people convene in one place, but then he makes a great point in saying that the Olympics are meant to be sort of a celebration of the sort of the globe and the people of the globe, and have always been about celebrating humanity, and at a time when humanity's in a bit of a, not the best state with this illness, it's probably not a good time to have the Olympics. And maybe just go, hey, maybe just have the Olympics later on sometime, because you sometimes do get the feeling that issues like this come back to money and things like that. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see where we go. Where will we end up with the Olympics? Will they go ahead? Probably will. It's probably one of those things. You'd hope that, you'd think that the money from the Olympics could be spent on be helping out people from lower socioeconomic areas around the world to maybe get vaccinated. I mean, and then it all comes back to whether people believe in vaccinations and all sorts of carry on, though, doesn't it? But yeah, it's interesting. We're going to play another song now, and we might jump forward in time a little bit. We'll play. I was watching a good documentary just the other night. Well, I like it. It's sort of, I suppose, it's not really the best documentary when it comes down to talking about as far as band documentaries go. It's one about the Stone Roses, who were, if people aren't aware, an English band who sort of blew up in their sort of mid-90s, maybe early 90s, and became quite huge quite quickly through, and it was quite an organic process with them. They were sort of a band that came out of nowhere and was just word of mouth, and then became quite huge, and then sort of fell apart in a funny sort of way. And then actually got back together many years later and did another world tour just recently. Actually, I think they were touring only a couple of years ago, or 3-4 years ago. I actually missed out on seeing them in Melbourne because I think basically just because I forgot that they were coming. I sort of knew they were coming, and then I forgot, and then by the time I realised they were, it had sold out, so I couldn't go. Which I've always sort of been a little bit disappointed about. But I did get to see, I'll tell you, there's one artist that I'm really happy I did see in Melbourne when I lived there, and that was Aaron Torkener when he was playing with Kyra Knife Fight. And wow, what a musician that guy was. May he rest in peace. He died last year. And what a loss to New Zealand music, and a loss to his friends and family. A few of my friends were very good friends with him, and I only met him once myself, but I told him, how much I appreciated him when I did, and which was cool. It's good to be able to do it. So with that, and I should be actually playing maybe one of his songs, but I am going to go with what I was going to play originally, and that was a song by the Stone Roses that I've always enjoyed, and it's always sort of intrigued me. I first heard it maybe, I think, in about 1996. A friend played it to me, and I always thought, wow, that's quite a haunting, eerie song. And it's a song that is sort of about a human condition, really, in a lot of ways, like just the yearning for people to be loved and adored and cherished. But it has musically, it's a pretty cool track. There's a nice bass line, and Ian Brown, the lead singer of the Stone Roses, has a great voice. They're just a pretty interesting band, really. Like, they were not sort of, you wouldn't really think of them as a rock band because they were sort of quite sort of English folky. If you're not familiar with them, I'd recommend checking them out. But in the meantime, I'll put on this song. It's called I Want to Be Adored. It's by the Stone Roses. And it's slow to take off, but there you go. You can hear the noise coming through in the background there. Bit of a haunting number, that one. Stone Roses. No, it's a beautiful Sunday morning in the Wairarapa, and I hope everyone's having a good one. And I'm going to play some more music. I've got, I don't know if people are listening now who weren't listening earlier. I did have a guest lined up today, but there was a bit of a double up of things that they were doing, so they were unable to attend this morning, which is totally fine. It gives me an opportunity to play more music. And I've got another good song here that I might go with. This is going to be a bit of a classic that people might not have heard for a while, that I quite like. It's by a French artist, Edith Piaf. And it's a bit of a grand, it's a bit of a grand tune. I've always found it to be quite grand. I think of it as like a sort of, it's something quite special. It's very enjoyable. It's good Sunday morning music, I think. Turn it up. It's Edith Piaf with, excuse my French pronunciation, Non je ne regrette rien. I'm not sure, I probably said that completely wrong, but anyway, here it is.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est payé. Mes souvenirs, j'ai allumé le feu, mes chagrins, mes plaisirs, je n'ai plus besoin de balayer les amours avec leur trémolo, balayer pour toujours, je repars à zéro. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Car ma vie, car mes joies, aujourd'hui, ça commence avec toi.
How's that? Isn't that great? I love it. There was something interesting that popped up in the news this week, was that the astronaut Michael Collins died, 90 years old. He is famous for being sort of not there in one of the sort of huge moments in human history, while Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. He was back orbiting the moon in the command module, didn't get to take part in the moon landing itself, but actually played probably one of the key roles in being, I don't know, running the show from up in orbit and making sure that they were able to dock back onto the command module that he was aboard so then they could all return to Earth. So he did play a pretty significant role there, and I read a really a cool article, I think it was the Washington Post, an obituary about him. Really interesting life. There's another good article in The Guardian as well about him. Just quite a remarkable chap. It was sort of someone who really applied himself well, and was a top Air Force pilot for many years. Did all sorts of cool things. Got taken into the NASA program. Excelled. Did really well. Missed out on. I think he might have been. Yeah. What? Yeah. He just. He played a huge role in that moon landing mission, actually. But he's sort of like the forgotten. They call him the forgotten astronaut in a lot of which is sort of a shame, really. But yeah, well worth checking out, reading up on Michael Collins, astronaut. Unless you're one of these moon hoax people who thinks that landing on the moon was a hoax, but personally, I don't think it was a hoax, but maybe it was. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe me and everyone who believes in the moon landing have been duped. Maybe, this is the way that I always talk to these moon hoax people, and it's like, so what you're telling me is that the Russians and the US colluded together to dupe the entire world that the Americans landed on the moon. I mean, because that's quite an interesting thing for the Russians to do, considering that they were competing for so many decades with the US to be the most powerful nation and viewed as the forefront of human civilization, and then they backed up that the US had landed on the moon, apparently. So I mean, and so they were just in on it, and which is just absolutely preposterous as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, if you want to be a moon hoaxer, that's what you believe. And good on you. Good on you for holding on to that. We'll go with another song. That's enough about moon hoaxes and people who don't believe in the moon landing. I for one, I don't know. I think humans are capable of such things. I think, despite being a little bit inept at some things back on Earth, why can't we go on the moon and have a walk around? For no reason whatsoever other than just to go there and hang out. And there is I think I even saw a video of it on YouTube of someone accusing Buzz Aldrin of the whole thing being fake, and then Buzz Aldrin, I think he actually punched him out, which was like, hey Buzz, settle down, mate. But yeah. But we're going to play another song, and this is a goodie that I've been listening to. I'll tell you, this Jimi Hendrix book I've been reading recently has really given me a bit of more of appreciation of a lot of music, even though, I mean, I've several bands that I've already heard of and I've listened to, but then I've sort of gone back and had another listen to some other albums that I hadn't heard. Like I've been familiar with Cream over the years, the band consisting of the English musicians Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce, and Ginger Baker, and had enjoyed some of their music, but I'd never actually heard the BBC sessions by them, and I had to listen to that after reading about sort of the close relationship that Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton had. They formed quite a bond, and Eric Clapton, Hendrix was a big fan of Clapton, and Clapton was a huge fan of Hendrix, which was really cool to hear that sort of thing. But this is a good song from the BBC sessions by Cream, and without further ado, I'll chuck it on. It's NSU by Cream.
Driving in my car, smoking my cigar. The only time I'm happy is when I play my guitar. What a lot I got. Happiness is something that just cannot be bought. Until I've been all around.
Yeah, so that's Cream with NSU. Yeah, funny story about that song. The name of NSU, it actually meant non-specific urethritis, which is a form of venereal disease Eric Clapton was rumoured to have been afflicted with at the time they recorded the song, and evidently Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker thought that would be quite funny to name the song that. Maybe even Clapton, actually. But yeah, yeah, it's sort of it's. I always find it's interesting to listen to music from that sort of time period, and you can hear the way that it's really influenced the music that's still being made today, and that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, so we've had quite a few songs. Well, I suppose we've had a few songs that people might even think of as being quite ancient. But the funny thing about music is that, I mean, there was just the other day, my oldest daughter, Indira, was telling me that this song that she'd played to me last year was now ancient. And I was like, wow. Okay, so therefore, the most of the music that I've played this morning, all of it, in fact, it would be sort of, I don't know, Paleolithic, perhaps, to the younger generation. But we'll play something that's not quite so ancient, but still to the younger generation would seem very ancient, and that's a song that I listened to the other day that I think listeners out there might enjoy if they're so inclined. It's by the, I'm pretty sure they were an English group, Underworld, and it's called Cowgirl. And yeah, check this one out. It's pretty cool. Got a crack of that one, eh? Cowgirl Underworld. Yeah, good band if you're sort of into electronic, which I'm quite partial to on occasion. So we've got Indira in the studio now. She's going to have a chat to us about what's been happening in her life. And she's on. No. There you are, mate. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool. So how's it going? How's your school holidays been? You've had a couple of weeks. You're back to school tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, tomorrow. Yep. Yep.
Well, the holidays, it's been good. My first week was just kind of boring. I was just at home.
Yeah, chilling out.
Yeah. And then, well, yeah. And then the next week, I actually... Oh, well, that weekend I went out with some friends, and then I stayed at a friend's house, and then I went to Hawke's Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. I went on walks and I went night riding. Well,
Yeah.
like on a BMX track at night.
Yeah.
That was fun. We ate pizza, and then there's a really nice walk you can go on to look out to this waterfall, but you can't actually go to the waterfall. You can only look out to it.
Oh, in Hawke's Bay, you mean? In Napier? Yeah. What's the waterfall called? Not sure. Oh, okay.
What else? Only cow pools.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's a cool swimming place. It's got cool slides.
Yeah.
It's quite dark, but it's still really fun.
Yeah, cool. What, the slides don't have lights inside them? Oh, okay.
In the daytime, they kind of light up, but it's like really dark at night.
So you went for a night swim there?
You can't see.
Oh, really? Oh, is that why Axel bumped his head?
Yeah.
Poor old Axel. Bumped his head a couple of times, you said. Oh, yeah, cool. So you had a good time in Hawke's Bay with your cousins?
Yeah.
Catching up with the whānau?
Yeah, I basically just stayed at the McArdle's cousins for like the whole time. They actually have moved into a new house, and it's cool.
Yeah.
And the band was there, so we got to play on the drums.
Oh, the band room. Yeah, that's good. They've got the big band room downstairs now. Good fun. And you're looking forward to going back to school?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And it's term 2 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's going to be happening, you don't really know. I suppose you find out tomorrow. Carrying on with everything. Did you have a song you wanted to play today?
Yes. Oh, actually, what is happening is they're going to probably have the classrooms built, I think. I'm not sure. Sometime they're almost like done. Maybe they are done, but I'm not sure, but that's exciting.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And also the library, they did renovation on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. Renovated the library. What? So that's all done now. That'll be good if it's complete.
I don't think it's done, but they still need to like bulldoze it over or something.
What was the song that you wanted to play?
Well, have I played Given yet? Like the guy who did Heartbreak Anniversary?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, should I play Olivia Rodrigo or Given?
Well, I don't know. That's your choice, mate.
I don't know. I don't know what to play. No. I'm going to play Stuck. No, Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo.
Haven't you... okay, yeah, well, we
No,
can
it's
play
called
that.
Deja Vu.
But that's not one that you've already played.
No.
Alright, okay. Well, here it is, Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo. Who's Olivia Rodrigo?
She was that girl who did Driver's License, and it was like the top chart in Spotify and like the whole world.
Oh, okay, right. So this song doesn't have like really super bad language in it? It doesn't, okay. Because it says that it has a little E by it, which means it has explicit language in it.
Well, maybe it has like the...
Yeah, it's probably low level. Alright, we'll put it on. Here it is. Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo.
Car ride cream, 1 spoon for 2, and trading jackets, laughing about how small it looks on you. Watching reruns of Glee, being annoying, singing in harmony. I bet she's bragging to all her friends, saying you're so unique. So when you're gonna tell her that we did that too? She thinks it's special, but it's all reused. That was our place, I found it first. I made the jokes you tell to her when she's with you. Do you get deja vu when she's with you? Do you get deja vu? Do you get deja vu?
Yeah, well, that was not too bad, eh? A bit of a lament for lost love, that song. Indira?
Yes, there was a rumour going around, I'm not sure. There's this girl who, so she came out with driver's licence, and then I'm pretty sure, I don't know though, so like, don't judge me, I'm not really in that, like, society of gossip of all the celebrities, but there was something about she just broke up with someone and then got together with this other girl, and she wrote a song, that girl who he got with, like, wrote a song about hands and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was pretty cool. So, any parting remarks before I put on another song that I was going to play, because I mentioned Aaron Talkener earlier, and I was going to play one of his tracks. Okay, good.
Wait. Enjoy, everyone who's going back to school, enjoy term 2 and stay safe and drink water. Yeah, good advice, mate. Drink water, for sure. All right. Thanks, Indira. Keep warm. Oh, you can stay on, actually. You can just stay in here, and but we're gonna listen to a bit of a song by one of Aaron Talkener's bands. This particular band he was in was called Ahori Buzz.
And this is a track they released a few years ago called Glitter in the Gutter. I'm not overly familiar with it. I've heard it once before, but yeah, I thought seeing as I'd talked about him on this show, I should actually play something by him. So here it is, Glitter in the Gutter. Right, so that was a Hoary Buzz with Glitter in the Gutter. Yeah, pretty cool track. Yeah, so we're coming up to the end of the show, so probably play a couple more songs. And I hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday and focused on their goals. I read something really cool the other day about, just if you're going through life and you're feeling a little bit listless or apathetic or, bored, unmotivated, that it's really good just to either make a goal or refocus on the goals that you had in the past and just have a target that you are working toward, and it will completely change the way you look at life and the way you approach things. I thought that was excellent advice. It definitely changed my day when I had to think about that, and made me feel like just made me think about what I'm working towards, the reasons I get up every day, and just even creating a reason to get up is a good thing to do, just because it can define your reality and just give you a little bit of a boost. But yeah, I'm going to play a song now that I really enjoy by a band that was huge a few years ago, and they're sort of not so big now. They probably play it a lot on the radio, actually, to be honest. I mean, the commercial radio, I mean. But yeah, I like it, and here it is. It's called, it's by The Killers. They're from that Mormon place, I think, aren't they? Somewhere over there in the States, Salt Lake City, maybe. No, I might be completely wrong. They might not be from Salt Lake City or Utah, but they might be from Utah. That's where a lot of Mormons live, I hear. But anyway, this is a good song. It's I've always enjoyed it. This is the first moment I heard it. Actually, I've loved this song. So here it is. Check it out.
Keep it in line.
Yeah, so it's the Killers with Read My Mind. Good track. Right. We're almost finished for the day, but I want to play another song by a New Zealand artist that I've played before on this radio show, actually about 2 years ago, and now I can't actually find it. I had it right in front of me. It's a goodie, though, and I haven't actually listened to it myself in quite a while, but goodness gracious, where in the name of... there it is. So, it's 11:51. Sunday, the 2nd of May, 2021. This is Unknown Mortal Orchestra, band with a New Zealand lead singer and members from the United States. I think they're based in Seattle, possibly. I think, if I remember correctly. I saw them live in Melbourne, I think in 2013, on my birthday. And yeah, very enjoyable gig. I went with Emma Jane, and the tickets were gotten for me by my dear friend Carl Jensen for my birthday, which was a great birthday present. And but yeah, this is Unknown Mortal Orchestra with a. This is an album they released only, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Really, and this track here is a pretty cool one that I've always quite liked. And yeah, it's a goodie. You don't hear it enough on the airwaves in New Zealand, actually. Sort of, yeah. I suppose maybe if they brought back New Zealand Music Month, does that even still exist? I'm not sure. But anyway, here it is. This is Honeybee by Unknown Mortal Orchestra. Check it out. Yeah, so that's a nice track by Unknown Orchestra. The lead singer of that band is Ruben Nielsen, formerly of the Mint Chicks. Grew up in Auckland, I think, and the song was actually written for his daughter, Iris. When it was written, I think she was 7 or 8 years old, and he wrote it just sort of as a message that, life can be sort of interesting and challenging, and, there's different sort of perils that you'll face in life. And, not a bad track. I've always enjoyed it. I just think he's a very talented man, and the band he got together over there is pretty cool. They definitely have their own sound, which is, I think that's what any band's looking for when they create music, is signature sound, and or any musician for that matter. So that's it for today. Have a beautiful rest of Sunday the 2nd of May. And next week I should be back with an interview, most likely, on your Sunday morning. Maybe a bit more music, but in the meantime, take it easy. Have a good one. See you later.